It is the historic moment for Indian defense industry and defense manufacturers as the Philippines has approved a $374.96 million contract to purchase the shore-based anti-ship variant of Brahmos supersonic missile system from India. Hello everyone, welcome to the Power Academy. Here in this topic we will going to talk about the India's major defense export of the Brahmos supersonic missile, which is an anti-ship missile to the southeastern nation Philippines. And let's talk about the Brahmos a little and some aspects related to this deal. The Brahmos is the world's best supersonic cruise missile system with the speed 2.8 Mach. What is 2.8 Mach? 2.8 Mach means its speed is 2.8 times the speed of sound. The Brahmos is a joint venture between India and Russia. Brahmos is the mixed name of the two rivers. What is the name of that two rivers? That two rivers name is the Brahmaputra from India and Moskova from Russia. It is an highly accurate anti-ship missile. As the head of procuring entity, the Delfin Lorenza, the Philippines authority, signs the notice of award for the Philippine Navy shore-based anti-ship missile acquisition project. The Philippines government negotiated with the government of India. It includes the delivery of 3 batteries, training for the operators and the maintainers, as well as the necessary logistics support package. The coastal defense regiments of Philippine Marine will be primarily employer of this modern strategic defense equipment. Now the main question is why the Philippines is buying the Brahmos anti-ship missile systems. What is their purpose? Why they are dealing with India for the anti-ship missile system? Because the acquisitions would equip the armed forces of the Philippines with a potent deterrent against the Chinese adventurism in the South China Sea. Also in the November, the Chinese Coast Guard ship blocked and used the water cannons on the 2 Philippine supply boats heading to a disputed shoal in South China Sea, which China claims as their own. China claims the South China Sea as their own. That incident rang the warning bell for the Filipino government. As we know, its vessels are covered under the Mutual Defense Treaty with USA. The USA is the defense treaty partner of the Philippines, but the USA never came up to rescue the Philippines from that Chinese mess. They were actually looking at the broader picture to save the whole South China Sea from the clutches of the Chinese occupations. Why they are trying to save the South China Sea from the clutches of the Chinese occupation? Because the South China Sea is a very important trade route, and the USA and all the other countries, those who are in the West, try to do the business through the South China Sea to the other nations in the Southeast Asian region and the East Asian region. So that is why the USA is trying to protect that sea. If the China would have the claim wholly on that sea, then all the nations, those who would try to do the business through the South China Sea, have to pay the taxes to the Chinese authority. So that is why the USA is trying to oppose that move from the China. But the Philippines have to take their own steps. So they were actually looking at the broader picture, as they were Philippines government were also looking for the broader picture. So that is why the Philippines budget department issued the 2 special allotment released order worth peso 1.5 billion, which is 190 crore rupees Indian rupees, and the peso 1.535 billion, which is 224 crore Indian rupees. This Brahmos deal was stuck or delayed for some months because of the hard negotiation between the two countries' military officials, and the deal also faced the budgetary constraints, and also these countries also faced the COVID-19 pandemic very badly. The Philippines were affected very badly India was also affected, as the Philippines were affected. That is why they have the budgetary constraint, so they have to hold that deal for some times. So now the India is also dealing with the other countries, those who are in the uh, Southeast Asian region, and those countries are the Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Thailand. The deal with those countries is on advanced stage. It is only about to be signed. All of these countries share their maritime boundary with the South China Sea, and the China, being an authoritarian nation, claim the whole South China Sea by their manufactured nine dotted line, which China actually manufactured. China claimed that sea on the basis of the nine dotted line. So their common problem lies with the China, and these countries are also looking for an Indian anti-ship supersonic Brahmos missile system. So that is why these countries in the South China Sea, that includes the Philippines and the other nations, looking for the Indian system. The Indian systems are more reliable than the other systems, those who are available to the other countries. So that is why these countries are looking for that system. And lastly, in my view, China China is behaving like a colonial masters of the Middle Ages, that the United Kingdom, the France, and the Portugal used to have. The China think they can control the world because they have the huge economy, which is the world's second largest. Almost the whole world is depends on the export. As the China is an export dependent country, so they exported the good to the other countries of the world. That is why they think that the whole world is dependent on them, so they claim the whole sea. But the China has to look at the bigger picture. They are behaving like in Soviet Union. The Soviet Union used to behave like the China are doing today. After the 1945 World War II, the Soviet were the largest country on earth, with the more advanced weapon system of the world, with the more advanced space organization than NASA, because they were having the space station during the 1980s, the Mir space station. Even the USA did not have. But that nation too disintegrated because of manufactured and the opaque economy and the messy internal politics. That is why this country disintegrated into an 15%. Now the today's Russia is there. Only the other nations are around the Russia. They are in the Eastern Europe and the Central Asian countries. And today the China is also facing the same kind of problems that the Soviet Union used to have. They do not have any friend left with them. The China do not have any friend left with them. The almost all the countries are looking at the China in a suspicious way. All the countries thinks that the China is spying on them. That includes all the South Asian countries. That includes all the Asian countries. The China also have an Belt and Road Initiative, which is very suspicious in nature, and they are giving the loan to the other nations, and they are putting the burden on them. They are not granting any money. So these kind of things are putting this world into a jeopardy. So the Chinese economy is shrinking day by day also. Chinese population problem is also there. So they have the messy internal politics regarding the Tibet and the Xinjiang. What the Chinese are doing the Xinjiang? Chinese are persecuting the Muslim population in the Xinjiang, as the German used to do. German used to do during the World War I with the Jewish population. So these are all the sign of the dynasty fall. The Chinese dynasty will fall. It is about time. Although the China may not fall apart like the Soviet Union, but it will crumble in time for sure. So now we reached our question part today, and our question for today is: world first supersonic aircraft and the reconnaissance aircraft ever included in service. The first option is MiG-25, second one is F-100 Super Sabre, third one is the Concorde, fourth one is Shenyang J6. And the second question is related to the UPSC exam, and all the civil services exam all and around the world. If anyone having any civil services exam, then they can have this question. And the question is how the Brahmos in the South East Asia will going to change the Chinese supremacy in South China Sea. If anyone have any doubt, any questions related to this topic, then you can mail me to my email address, which is tuhin.power.academy@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.